Of Fiora. So I think this is a Chainsword skip tier into Radiant game. It's like I feel like this game Chainsword skip tier Radiant. If we do Chainsword Radiant and then I go Stoneplate, then we're good. And Phoenix, I'm in the prime, welcome. Thank you. So Melissa, first time chatting, what am I getting myself into here? Don't worry about it. Oh, nice. So my Kalista never pressed E with 6 spears stacked inside the Ekko. Respect, honestly. Giving Ekko a double kill at 3 minutes was actually really good. Okay. I think the trick is we just like take Scuttle and then I can look for a mid dive. The Everett, I'm in the prime, welcome. Thank you. Well, the thing is, am I gonna get 3-man claps? Thank God. If I get this blue here too, okay, that's massive. It's like now the Ekko isn't ahead anymore, so we needed. The Igor thing in the year, welcome back. The 1 year meow? If I just start barking uncontrollably, and then I start frothing at the mouth and you have to call the hospital. And 0 there in the prime, welcome. Thank you. Okay, I think my play here is I just gang top on the crash. Like if I sit here and take Krugs into top gank, it's good. Please God, tell me this doesn't fuck up. I mean, we get her flash. That's actually not the worst. I wasn't expecting her to have that much health on my gank, though. Like, she was literally full HP. What the fuck was that? She's gonna TP back to lane now, but we can't dive this. Maybe I could look for, like, Raptors into mid gank? I think Raptors into mid gang's definitely best play. If we do Gromp into bot, could that work? Yeah, we're diving this. Thank you. Nice. Perfect. Alright, good. Perfect execution. Well played to Nalisa. And 8-bit, thank you for the 2 months, welcome back. Thank you. And 2K Valley, thank you for the sub, welcome. Thank you. Alright guys, what if I tell you that now we just go for the full clear, top side into Herald. And it's like if we do that, it's over. Oh shit, he's fucked. I mean, I think we just have to give this Herald now, don't we? Because the problem is Ekko's here with Karma. I didn't think Karma would be here as well. I'll just like focus my bot side and then go for a dive on Varus. That should be a decent trade. Full clear bot side into bot dive is actually like not bad. Oh, they already kill? Okay. Now the thing is, Ekko's gonna reset with Karma, and they're gonna look for a kill on Kali or close off respawn. As soon as they do, we kill them. They will 100% look bot here. I'm a mind reader. I can read the future. I mean, we just saw them, but I guess they had vision on me. Unlucky. Well, not unlucky, but like unfortunate. I thought that the double chime would have been enough to keep me alive there. I mean, the good news is I got my chain sword, and now we're also probably going to get this bot tower as long as Ekko doesn't gank bot and insta-kill Kalista. But I don't think he would. Why don't you build Hydra? Because Hydra's a dog shit item. It was only good for literally one patch. Hydra, thank you for the sub. Welcome. And Domicon, thank you for the sub. Welcome. Thank you. Also, Hydra, I don't know if it's you, but there was one person that was going in my Discord typing all this like crazy shit. I'm not sure if it was you or if it was someone else though. My mods were like DMing me about it. And Synthesis, same in the Prime, welcome. Or Synthesis, thank you. Okay. I mean, we just need to make sure that they don't get second drag here. There's no reason for us to give it unless they force it on spawn since I don't have ult. Yeah, I'm lucky. Why does the Hecarim build keep changing? Because itemization is skill expression, and since I'm the best Hecarim in the world, I know how to change my itemization in a way where I can 1v9 games. Can we look for this? Nice. Nice. Now we get free dragon. I reset. I got Aegis Kindle. We're vibing. Are the voices still telling me to grind out Hecarim? I mean, Hecarim's actually in like a decent state with the builds I've been running. So I actually don't mind it. It's like, it's not the worst. Yeah, I mean, like, it could be worse. Try rushing Umbral Glaive and going wards instead of Oracle. Nope. I just said nope. What's the current Hecarim build? Okay, guys. What if I told you guys that there's no such thing as a build, okay? And this is something that a lot of you guys don't understand. And it's something that's like, something that like a lot of people just don't really get, okay? Itemization isn't as simple as build these 3 items and you're 1v9. Hey guys, look, I just made a new fucking Gragas build. It's 1v9. Build these 3 items, you're 1v9. Like, that's not how itemization works, okay? Itemization works as a way of countering enemy teams. So when you're assessing whether you want to build items, right, and stuff like that, you need to always ask yourself, what does your team have? What does your team lack? What does your team need? What does the enemy team have? What does the enemy team need? Who are the enemy team's carries? And how do I fulfill my role of carrying the game, right, given all of these circumstances? The problem with too many of you is that you don't actually care that much about, I guess, like, improving your itemization abilities, and you just sit there and you fucking do the same 3 items every single game, and then you'll lose like 70% of your games because of it, and you'll be like, oh dude, I had a shit team, or I had this or I had that. But it's like, no, the reason why you're losing is because your itemization is fucking awful, right? Like, I remember back when I would do OPGG reviews, I would sit there and it's like, I would be OPGG reviewing a gold guy, and he'd be building like Spur Visage versus 5 AD, and I'd say, what are you doing? You know, like, where's your death stance? And be like, oh, I don't know, dude, like, Spur Visage just works really well with, like, Eclipse back when it gave Omnivamp. And I'd be like, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, what is wrong with you? You know? And it's like, they don't know what's wrong with them because they don't critically think. And the thing about itemization in League is that it requires critical thinking. So it's like, I'll give you a little bit of, like, instead of telling you what the Hecarim build is this game, right? What I can do for you is I can tell you why I built the items I built this game. So instead of saying, oh yeah, guys, this is the new Hecarim build, what I'll tell you instead is this is why I want the items I want this game. Let me explain. So I looked at the enemy team and I said they have an exhaust. Exhaust ruins my chances of like running in and just 1v5ing, right? So that automatically says I don't want to build Duskblade. Never want to build Duskblade if they have an exhaust. Then I look at the rest of their team, right? And I could say I want to go Eclipse. But the problem with Eclipse is that Eclipse, the main benefit of it is armor pen and in like elongated fights. What does the enemy team have this game? A bunch of champs who are kind of like squishy assassins. Okay, cool. So we don't need armor pen, so we don't need Eclipse. And then we also don't need Duskblade because the enemy has an exhaust. So then what is my last option? My last option is Chainsword. Now, then I look at my team, okay? Or not Chainsword, but Radiant Virtue. Then I look at my team, right? And I'm going to say, okay, well, now what does my team have? Well, hold on. Okay. We should win this fight now. We're good. So then I'll look at my team and I'll say, my team has Callista, we have Azir, and we have Akshan. That's a lot of damage. So do I really need to build damage this game? Not really, right? So what I actually want to sit here and do, right, this game, is I want to go Radiant Virtue second, and I don't want to have Tier, because why would I need Tier when I already have the damage I need from the rest of my team, and Radiant Virtue building it counters the enemy like assassins, right? So that's why it's like it's all about critical thinking. It's about critical thinking. It's about process of elimination. It's about wondering what the current viable itemizations are, and then assessing the enemy team comp and being like, okay, what actually like works this game, right? But just sitting there and being like, oh yeah, dude, go this build. It's like, no, bro, don't go that build. Because if you're just gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, I need to build this every game because it's OP, it's like, no, no, you don't. You know, you'll never improve as a player if you just sit there and always try to find like the best like current build, right? I know that's not to say that there aren't times where some builds are just so unbelievably broken that you just build them every game, right? Like back when Ravenous Hydra was insanely broken, Hydra into Manmune was fucking insanely good, right? Back when Chemtank was really good, it was Chemtank Manmune, right? Those were like the insane builds. But nowadays, Hecarim doesn't really have an insane build, so as a result, he has a bunch of builds that he can kind of like work with, right? And the builds that he can work with depends on all the limiting factors that are present in his game. What's the reason for Chainsaw? Well, when you want to go Radiant Rush, when you want to go Radiant second item, okay, you're confronted with two options. One of them is Chainsword, and the other is Cleaver. You build Cleaver if they have tanks, and you build Chainsword if they don't, pretty much. We ace this here. Good. So that's the thing. Right now, the main actual skill expression with Hecarim, and the reason why you guys are going to see that I'm going to hit like 1,000 LP with this champion, and no one else will, is because I have so many games on Hecarim, and I have so much experience, that I can look at a team comp and know exactly what I need to build just by looking at it. And because of that, like, experience, that's what's going to lead me to being and maintaining the title of Best Hecarim World, right? It has nothing to do, well, I mean, it has a lot to do with mechanics, but it also has to do with, like, knowing the role I'm supposed to play in games. Your top tips how much gold enemy team has? Blitz is OP? Yeah. Blitz is a good app. Do I no longer rush Manamune then? No. No, you don't. It's like, that's the only hint I'll give you is that, no, you don't rush Manamune. You don't rush Manamune because nowadays you don't go Ingenious Hunter second. You go Tenacity with Triumph. And if you're going a Manamune build, whether it be Eclipse or whether it be Duskblade, then you're getting your Manamune as your third item, not as your second. Which allows for a lot more leeway with your builds, which allows for more carry potential. Because the more leeway you have with your builds, the better you can itemize versus the enemies, the better you can itemize versus the enemies, the better that you can 1v9 each specific game. Does that make sense? So that's the thing, it's like when I tell you that there's not a good build, that should actually make you happy. Because you as like a Hecarim one-trick or you as an aspiring Hecarim player should actually want to be in a position where now you want that, you know, like you want to be able to sit there and look at a team and be like, okay, I know what I need to build because they have this. And then once you actually start critically thinking in League with your itemization, guess what you're going to start doing? Critically thinking with your pathing, critically thinking with your macro decisions, critically thinking with objective gameplay. And it's like once you start actually critically thinking and not just autopiloting every game, guess what starts happening? You start climbing. You start getting better. You start being, instead of a diamond player, a challenger. Instead of a bronze, a gold, right? Critical thinking is the reason why people get high elo, but it's the one thing that everyone lacks. Everyone wants everything given to them nowadays. Oh, what's the current build for my champion? Oh, let me just look it up on YouTube. What's the current best pathing? Oh, let me just look it up on YouTube. Oh, what's the best, like, Cane Runes? Oh, let me just ask Charisma, you know? It's like, people just refuse to experiment anymore, and I kind of really dislike that. Because the thing that actually always like made League super fun was experimenting, right? But then now that experimentation has been kind of like taken out of the game because of all these different sites that give you all these different like stats and whatnot that make it so that you can always find like, oh, what's the best thing right now? It just like killed the game. That's why I don't like it. That's why unironically, I've always said that Riot should not make their API publicly available for any website at all, and every single website that data mines should just be completely removed, unironically. Because the thing is, when you have websites that data mine, all it does is detract from the game. Yeah, but dude, what if I don't have that much time to play League nowadays, and I need to know what the best build is, because I don't have that much time? Well, bro, that should be part of the thing that makes League fun for you, is that when you do get time, you can actually, like, experiment and try new things, right? But I want to win my rank games. Well, I mean, if you actually cared about climbing, then, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, then invest your time into actually, like, researching, then, you know? Because the problem with this is, well, let me explain something to you. What if I told you guys that the reason why you guys don't want to experiment with your League builds is also the reason why you guys are depressed when you play the game? And the reason why is because you guys are results oriented and you're not actual gameplay oriented. If you sat there and you actually like experimented with your builds and you experimented with new things and you always tried new things, right? It would make you enjoy the game more because it's not only about win or lose anymore. Now it's actually about having fun. Now it's about actually finding out the right builds. Now it's about actually doing all these things, right? Why do you guys think when I can't play Hecarim, I get depressed? Because every time I'm playing Hecarim, I'm experimenting with him. Every single time. And that's what makes me love the game. But when I'm locking in Diana or Belveth, am I really experimenting with them? No. I'm just like being results oriented, hoping I win. And then when I have days like that, right, that accumulate, then that's when I start feeling really dog shit. And that's when I don't want to sleep and I just like don't even want to stream or do anything because I feel awful, right? But Hecarim is what actually allows me to sit here and be able to like experiment and play the game. That's why when I'm playing Hecarim, I'm actually playing League. Playing any other champ, I'm just like hoping for a win, right? But when I'm playing Hecarim, I'm playing League. And that's the reason why I love this champ so much. Dante, our brains are imploding. I know, Shane. It's like one of you saw it, probably like a TikTok of me screaming that incest was like wincest or some shit. Come to my stream expecting me to like be screaming, and then I give you like the League of Legends itemization fucking manifesto, and then you're there and you're like, oh, interesting. You know what I mean? No Hecarim equals depression? Unironically, yes. Yes. Hecarim is one of the only things that actually makes me like genuinely happy in life. Hecarim and streaming, I would say, are probably like the only. I have other things that I like really enjoy doing, but the things that give me like true, real, genuine happiness is just Hecarim and streaming. Other things make me happy, but they don't necessarily give me happiness, if that makes sense. All right. She flashed! Alright, just on. And Saucy, thanks for 10 months. Welcome back. It's over? What if I told you League season's beginning then?